I'm stunned. I don't believe I'm even saying this right now. We have a new UFC lightweight champion. No, it's not that I couldn't believe Anthony Pettis couldn't beat Benson Henderson. I believed it. I mean, we saw it in WEC. Showtime kick. Great fight. Could have gone either way until that kick. Unanimous decision win for Pettis about 3 years ago in the final WEC event. But I would have never guessed this would have ended via finish. And I would have never guessed that this wouldn't have gone the distance. I would have never guessed that in the very first round, Benson smoothed Henderson's title reign ends via submission. He verbally submitted to an armbar. A great armbar by Pettis. The fight started out with Bendo being aggressive, tying him up, trying to take him down. They got separated. Pettis unleashed some hell in the form of four straight body kicks. But I was just cringing watching that. Bendo, of course, probably was in pain, but had an awesome poker face. Then Showtime, I don't want to say he got cocky, but he tried to get a little flashy, throwing a little bit of that Showtime kick. Went for a kick, got taken down. Joe Rogan says Pettis is really good on the ground. You can't underestimate him. And voila, locks in an armbar. Bendo tries to counter and roll through. Couldn't escape. Post-fight interview, Pettis said he felt the arm pop and said that Bendo said tap, tap, tap. And the rest is history. Verbal submission. The hometown boy from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. UFC 164 main event. Harley-Davidson throwdown. He won the UFC belt. Celebrated. Crowd loved him. Dedicated this win to the crowd, to his dad, to his family. Said he could overcome anything. And Lord knows that dude's overcome a lot of tragedies, a lot of hardships. And more recently, a lot of injuries and just plain bad luck the last 2.5 years since he got here from the WEC. So congratulations to Anthony Pettis. Great run for Bendo. Yes, he had a couple questionable decision wins over Frankie Edgar and Gilbert Melendez, but hey, he ain't a judge. He's a fighter. He always brought it in the cage. Post-fight, Pettis also called out Jose Aldo for a super fight. Could we see that happening? Or will TJ Grant get the title shot that he earned originally after knocking out Gray Maynard? Of course, until he got concussed, paving the way for Pettis to fill in on short notice. That makes it even more impressive because you got to believe Pettis wasn't 100%. He was originally supposed to face Jose Aldo in July in the UFC 163 main event for the featherweight championship. Got injured and somehow, some way was able to speed up his recovery time to make the UFC 164 main event in his hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Congratulations to Showtime. Sucks to be Bendo. Lost to Pettis twice. Might be a while before he gets a title shot. Maybe he'll even move to 170 down the road. We shall see, but props to both guys. Two great warriors. Forget Tim Tebow getting cut. Forget what RG3 or Tree, whatever the hell you want to call him, tweeted on Instagram and crap about Mike Shanahan and I might play. I don't give a damn. Ben Henderson got submitted for the first time in years. He got handed his first UFC loss against his greatest opponent. And that, to me, is a much bigger sports story than all that other crap. In the co-main event, we saw some controversy. Josh Barnett, just manhandled Frank Mir. Kneed him in the face. Frank Mir went down like a stack of bricks. Well, a stack of bricks in a hurricane. And ref stopped it. Frank popped back up, said, WTF, what happened? I should have won that fight. I should have continued, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I think the fight was stopped a little too early. But when you go down like that, like a sack of bricks, like a sack of potatoes, hey, you don't leave the referee with a lot of options. Chad Mendez also didn't leave the referee with a lot of options except to stop the fight, knocking out Clay Guida. This was a good back-and-forth fight. Won a couple rounds, but man, Mendez just turned it up a notch, knocked him out, did TKO. Guida's never been stopped before. Yes, he was submitted by Kenny Florian, but never been finished by strike. So props to Chad Money Mendez. If they do the Aldo and Pettis super fight, it looks like Money Mendez is going to have to wait but 4 straight knockout wins. Mighty impressive. Who's next for him? Maybe Swanson. Maybe Edgar. Maybe a dark horse in the featherweight division. We'll see there. Dustin Poirier, speaking of guys in the featherweight division, beat Eric Koch via unanimous decision. Really, really good opening fight. Ben Rothwell versus Brandon Vera. Not a great fight at all. A bit of a train wreck. But the third round, Ben Rothwell just, I don't know, did he become a Super Saiyan? Did he Hulk up? But he pretty much went, and then just threw bombs at Vera. Just threw bombs at him, and Vera got knocked out. Ben Rothwell won. Cut a really intense promo. I'm thinking he's going to call out Cain Velasquez because this was dragging on and on and on. It was entertaining, but it was dragging on and on and on. And then he calls out Travis Brown? Huh? Why not call out like Roy Nelson or something, you know? Nothing against Travis Brown. Travis Brown's a rising contender, but one would think after a spectacular finish like that, you would call out, you know, somebody with a little more name value. Hey, whatever. At least he's calling out somebody. Props to him for calling out somebody. Props to Pettis for calling out Aldo. These guys, man, these fighters got to learn. You got to market yourselves. You're going to fight these dudes anyway. You're going to get punched in the face anyway. Call somebody out. Make Dana White's job easier. Make Joe Silva's job easier. I guarantee you there's a reason why they ask fighters, who do you want to fight next? It's not so they could say, oh, well, the UFC has the best of the world. I'll fight whoever's next. Like, no. Call somebody out. Make a name for yourself. As Jim Ross once said, kid, climb up the ladder. Make yourself famous. Pettis, he made himself famous. Josh Barnett made himself famous. Money Mendez made himself famous. Really, really good main card. Prelim card, pretty damn good too. You know, the main event of the prelims was Gleison Tebow versus Jamie Varner. Good fight. Varner turned it up a notch in round 3. Almost made a comeback. Took Tebow down, but just couldn't finish him. He really needed to finish in round 3. But no shame in losing to the UFC vet. But I want to hear from you. What'd you think was the best fight? What'd you think was the best submission? What'd you think was the best knockout, the best finish? Whatever. Did you order UFC 164? Did you decide, I'll skip this? Do you regret skipping it? Are you glad you ordered it? Let me know. Leave a comment below.